Welcome back to the Hatton for Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark.
I'm Tawan.
And today, instead of reviewing a horror movie, we'll be doing something a little bit different. We are currently road to 200 episodes, so we have been mixing it up here and there. And with this episode, we will be giving our top five, our very first top five, our top five slash movies. Now, this will be slash movies from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the current era. It's just our top five slash movies of all time. So, Tuan, can you tell us what's in your fifth spot?
Yeah, so in my fifth spot, I have Halloween 2018.
That was it. Oh, mother! Oh, man. I got peanut butter on my penis.
Ew, Dad. Instant karma. Cameron is a
The quote unquote requel of Halloween. I really didn't have like much going into this one when it first came out because obviously no everybody knows Michael Myers, like it's always been a thing, but the actual like franchise as a whole has never kind of like stuck with me. um and I really didn't like care that much. But when it was announced it was coming back, and then they said that it was going to be direct sequel to the first one, and we saw Jamie Lee Curtis was back again. I was like, okay, I'm kind of into it, and like the vibe seemed good from the trailers, and then I went to see it once it dropped, and I was surprisingly I was surprised with it. Like it like captured that really good feeling of like of just a general like slasher movie for me. Um I like that it still felt brutal, but not Rob Zombie brutal. And I think that's well, like, because like the Rob Zombie ones, like I didn't mind those, to be honest, because like even when we reviewed those, like I liked some parts of them, but also like I was just never like a huge like Halloween franchise Michael Myers fan anyway. So a lot of stuff that happened with that franchise, like it never really was like too much for me because I was never really into it that much to begin with. So I didn't care as much. But I really liked this take, and it was always funny to me when it dropped because I was looking at, okay, who's behind this movie, and who wrote, who directed it, and I was like, Danny McBride. And then I had to look up to make sure it was that Danny that Danny McBride.
Right. I remember doing the same thing. I was like, this is who y'all got to write to be part of the script writing? I was like, this is already gonna be a no for me.
And then I was like,
Little did
and
we
then I was
know.
like, that was like the director, David Gordon Green. I was like, oh, what did he direct? I was like, Pineapple Express. I was like,
Hmm.
Your Highness, the sitter. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no.
Zero
It's gonna be
faith. I
ass.
hadn't.
No, look, I was like, ooh, it's gonna be ass. But I was actually surprised. Now, did they stick the landings for the other two? Debatable. For me, not as much. Um, as far as like just the slasher aspects of those other ones, even though they're not in the list here, they were good. But like the rest of them, not really. But this one, I feel like this one got the tone just right. I think it had a good story in this one, and I believe that the kills and everything we got in this one were really good. I think this held up really, really well. Um, the rest of the trilogy for this newer one, not as much. But I'm really glad with this. I'm really glad with this iteration of Halloween. I don't. We really don't need any Halloween anytime soon. To be honest, like I'm okay with them letting this sit for some more. Um,
And honestly, I think that's what worked for that movie. I feel like because there had been so much time between Halloween 2018 and Halloween 2 2009, like the fans were able to miss it and reminisce about it. So we were ready for a new entry in the franchise. Because if it would have came If they would have pumped out the one that they wanted to do directly after Halloween 2, I don't think it would have had such a big, you know, reception.
And I think that time away did it a good service. Because when it did come back, like once I did see it, like I was like, okay, I'm with this like take, and I would like to see more. And I think they did a good job with it. But yeah, the um everything else, like I think we just need another good long break from Michael Myers, and I'm okay with them, letting it sit some more. Either way, it's not even with Blumhouse anymore. With Halloween Ends, they kind of did their trilogy kind of contract with the rights holder, so it's not even if whatever happens in the future may not even be with Blumhouse. It may be something else ongoing or another studio getting it in the future. So maybe, it'll get another take later on, which that's fine. Bring it back later, but right now, I'm okay with letting this series rest a little bit. We got a little bit of finality there, somewhat, with letting Jamie Lee Curtis come back, and it kind of retreaded that whole. Well, not started, but actually, no, it did kind of start the whole requel trend a bit, and especially in horror, of bringing back like not a full reboot, but we're gonna loose cannon some stuff and bring back people from the past. With this movie, we got the 2022 Scream movie. Now I Know What You Did Last Summer came back. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like we got a lot of stuff because of this 2018 version of Halloween. Um, pulling really good numbers that we got all these other films come back. Also, um, we got John Carpenter was on back for some of the music and stuff too. The soundtrack in this movie was really good as well.
Well, for me, and my fifth spot is a movie that we haven't talked about yet, but it's The Collection.
Oh my God. What?
Now, I
Ooh,
yes, I love this movie,
that's the
and
second one, right?
that's the second one.
Okay.
I love this movie. I remember the first time because I've seen this one first before I saw the
Mm,
the first one, The Collector. So, well, like, I was only seeing like glimpse of it, and I thought it was a Saw movie, and I'm just like, I don't
that's
remember.
so
I don't.
funny.
I don't remember this happening in Saw. And so when I finally was able to like catch it and watch it from the beginning, I was like, oh no, this isn't Jigsaw. This is what is this? This is, and because it's called The Collection, I didn't even know for a long time, but this was a part two. I would just watch this movie and be fully engrossed and just like, oh, he needs to whoop that man's ass. They need to get out of here. And then the ending when he finds the guy and takes him out,
Hmm.
I'm like, wait, what's happening right now? And it has one of my favorite. It has one of my favorite TV actors who I love from him being a side character on Criminal Minds, and I enjoyed this movie. I love the music, I love the action, I love the set pieces. The kills were great. Interesting concept. And once I finally watched the first movie, it kind of just made it just made this one even better. Like this,
Did
I
you
always tell people like go watch Collection.
so do you know about the first one?
I've seen the first one.
But do you know that was like supposed to be like a spinoff for Saw initially?
Oh no.
That okay? I thought you knew that. I thought that's what you meant. I thought that's why you mentioned Saw because
Oh
the
no,
first,
I genuinely thought this was a Saw movie because
yeah.
I would only see like a couple scenes here and there. So like
Hmm.
I never had actually seen like until I've actually watched the entire movie, I had no idea that this was a like so this was supposed to be a
So yeah,
Saw movie.
So the collector, yeah, it was like initially pitched as a like origin story for John Kramer, but they opposed the idea and like dismissed it or whatever. So they got it. They reworked it into its own story for the collector, the first one.
Okay, I'm happy they did that, actually. I don't know
Yep,
how I would feel about that. I don't know
it works
if I
better
would have
because
been.
it's its own thing.
Yeah, I don't think I would have enjoyed a John Kramer origin story. Like, and now that you say that, I can kind of see, I can see it.
Hmm.
Now that you mention it, now I can see it. But I'm just glad that it became its own thing. But no, when I was mentioning Saw, like from the parts of the movie that I had seen over the years, I thought I was like, this is a missing fucking Saw trap. This is what part of
Yeah,
the plot is this? This ain't cop. This ain't this ain't Jigsaw. Like, what's going on? So,
yeah. And that scene at the beginning of the collection,
hmm
insane. And that like the whole like rave shit and everything. When
I
that
love that
fucking
part.
spinning wheel of death goes through the fucking crowd, that shit is crazy. Like that was giving me like some Final Destination shit at first. Like just seeing the whole crowd get mowed down like that, all the different traps and stuff, how it went. Like it was put together. That sequence is just crazy. But and then everything else once they reach his lair or whatnot, the collector's lair, like it was really well done. I like this one as well, so that's a good pick.
What about you? What's in your fourth spot?
We have Terrifier 2.
Oh,
This one is genuinely in here just due to the all out nature of slasher that it is. Like I don't think when I saw this movie that I had seen any slasher movie go this crazy or go this hard before. Um
they're unapologetically gory. That's why I love them.
yeah, like I don't think I'd seen any horror movie go this hard, like into the slasher premise, like being as nasty as it was, and like as Mark just said, like unapologetic about it as well. Like what I did because I don't think I got to see this one in theaters. I because it was kind of in theaters for like a very short time. It didn't have like a long run. When it came out, it was pretty short. So I didn't get to catch it. But once it came out like digital and I got to watch it, I was I was in awe of what I had just seen, and it was crazy. Like the scene where he fucking killed, I think it was Allie, the girl where he like scalped her, he like sliced her ass up, he did everything like poured salt on the wounds, like that was some crazy shit. And I was just like, yo, I don't think a movie has ever went this hard like this before with some kills. And then it was all practical too. Like that was the crazy part. Like, 'cause, a lot of stuff these days, like we do get a lot of good practical effects that come out of things, but a lot of movies now they're just in the business, they're just in it to like save monies or that type of thing. So a lot of times with some movies we'll see the bad digital effects and then we found out later that they actually did make a practical version of it but just covered it up with hella fucking CGI or some shit like that. But this one, they just went all out with the practical effects and the kills, and it was crazy how they did that in this. And I was just like, yo, this is wild. But and I didn't think it, and like when it happened, I was like, but it's also doing really good. Like people are loving this, and then they get the whole marketing because people are like leaving the theater, they're throwing up and stuff like that, which I could probably see because when certain shit was happening in here, it was just wild. And then me and Mark, we didn't see this one, but we saw the third one. But um, we saw the third one in theaters. I don't think we saw anybody leave, did we?
Well, we were all the way up front, so we couldn't see anybody leave.
You
So
right.
yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty cool. Which just goes to show how crazy it is that this movie is getting kind of like sold out in theaters in this type of movie. Um,
I think once you're past the initial like oh my god, they're really doing this shit. I think once you get past that, you're good to go with this
yeah.
movie, with this franchise. I think that first one caught those first two caught people off guard. And then when you got to the third one, it was like, okay, now I know what I'm getting myself into.
hmm But yeah, this is my number four. I think it definitely I think what this movie did really good, especially in this current era, which I spoke about before, is it brought us like a new like slasher character to attach to, especially for this current generation. Like with Art the Clown, like Art the Clown is like a new, like horror icon and like a Freddy Krueger, Jason type of sense, and only with like three and a half movies because he first came up in like a short film, but he's everywhere. Like people love Art the Clown. Like he's in video games. Like he pops up in a lot of other places. So I like that this movie was able to do that, and we need more like original slasher characters so that we can have keep that ball rolling with having these icons because I love our older icons, but I don't think I need as much as I love, like especially one of the movies I'm gonna get to later in here. But we probably don't need Michael Myers another 50 years from now, or Jason another like 50 years from now. Like we can introduce new ones. We can still respect what a lot of these characters did, or the people behind them did with these characters. But we need more of like these newer characters and slashers to like keep the ball rolling. And I think Terrifier solidified themselves with this movie, and even more so with the third one, and also how much they made off this one. Like the production budget was like less than 300,000 for the second movie, and they made almost 16 million in the box office. So crazy work, but definitely earned work because they put into it. So Terrifier 2 is my number four pick.
Well, for me at number four, I have Child's Play 2.
Andy! Hurry up! He's right behind you! Little bastard!
Now, for me, this is one. Actually, this is my favorite of the entire Child's Play franchise. Like this one is what solidified. I feel like this is the last time Chucky was both equally funny and menacing. Like they kind of gave him a little bit more campiness, but he was still menacing. He didn't go complete off the rails yet. I love the setup. I love that it's still Andy. I love that they were following him. Honestly, it's the big like factory climax at the end that really locks this movie in for me. So for me, at number four is Child's Play 2. Now, for number three, this is a movie that Tawana and I thought about when we reviewed it, but
Mhm.
it's Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
I said, where's the fucking bourbon? You should listen to your mother.
Oh, damn it, Kristen, you ruin everything. Every time I bring a man home, you spoil it. You know what your shrink says? You're just trying to get a little attention.
Did we
Because
fight about this one?
we fought about it because I think I went a little hard, like pro, like saying this is the best Freddy movie ever. And you were like, I think there's a better one coming up at some point. And I was like, no, there is no better one after this. This is the better one. This is actually my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie. This is the one. if I'm ever in a mood like, I want to watch a Freddy movie, this is the one I put on. I think Dream Warriors is amazing. I have the title song on my Spotify playlist. Like they actually had like an actual legitimate song released on the radio and had a music video for it that Robert Englund was in as Freddy. So like I love this movie and it's worth all the hype and it's my number three. But Tuan, what's at your number three?
My number three is the original Candyman movie.
Who is that? Who is that?
I came for you.
Oh Lord.
What's wrong with Candyman? What do you?
I of all the horror movies that I've ever seen, Candyman is the only one. Is the only horror movie to ever have me shaking in my boots.
No,
To this
that's
day.
that's exactly why. Like it's there. Like Candyman. Like when I was younger, after I watched this shit, and if my cousins or my parents was like, "Candyman come to get you," I'm scared. I'm going
Like
under the covers.
we're not even playing about that. Like
Like
we
we're
don't make
not.
those kind of jokes.
Like we literally. Like I tell you now. Tell any person that's watched Candyman to go see it in the mirror.
No. And you know how bad it is? I haven't seen this movie in years. But I've been around and I've been in places where they're watching a movie. And just based off the score, I can tell you what scene they're on, and I can tell you it's a fuck no, I'm not watching that. People always seem to like, Marcus, let's watch this. And I hear it, and I just know it's the fucking parking lot scene. And I'm like, you gotta be fucked up.
Helen. Like,
I
but this
can't.
one, this movie though, it is always good though. Even if like I do like end up watching it again, I haven't seen it in a while, but it's always remembered. Like it's literally one of those that's just like seared in my head. Like Tony Todd is just so good as this character, and like even though. And what's crazy is like he's not even in the movie that long, which just goes to show how powerful he was in the role. Because like we get so much of Helen going through and really not as much happening as you would get, which I mean, for the time period, it kind of like checks out for like how it was kind of handled in that sense. Like I feel like a lot of stories were like kind of slower in regards to like what we get like now with some type of movies, but it it does really it handles itself really well with what was given, and not to mention that the fucking movie takes place in Chicago. So when we're told as kids like Candyman getting you, and then you see the movie and you like, wait, is that they? Oh, never mind. He in Chicago. And it's just kind of one of those. It's just kind of one of those things that's always like stayed in my mind, and I love the story that goes with it. The performances in it is like really good. The couple of kills that we do get in here are really good. Yeah, I just always think I think about this one a lot. Like whenever it comes to like slasher movies and stuff. So I am very okay with having this in my third slot.
Well, what do you have in your second?
In my second, I have the first Child's Play movie.
Said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
Oh, okay.
Yes, so another one that also did take place in filmed in Chicago, take place in Chicago. This one, in regards to the whole franchise, like I like pretty much most of the even like most of the Child's Play franchise, Chucky, even the bad ones, like Chucky just has like a little soft spot like in my brain. Um, and I like all the movies, but this one, in my opinion, is still the best. I do think the second one is good. Don't get me wrong. The second one, I think these two are like the best two out of all of them. But the first one just edges out the second one for me because this is where Chucky was like the most menacing to me, and where if I watch it, I still feel like not like scared, but slightly like heightened sense of anxiety watching compared to the others, and just because of how unknown everything was at like in the time of like watching this one. Like there's a lot of unanswered stuff. You know, we get a lot more ongoing and they kind of break up lore and stuff, but that's a whole different conversation. But we're in this movie, like the first one, there's so much unknown with Chucky, like and he's like very menacing. Like that scene when um the mom's like, if you don't talk right now, I'm gonna put you in the fucking like fireplace or whatever, and he like goes crazy on her. Like that scene is forever like locked in my head, and it's really wild how much they were able to do with Chucky and like get him down like really good in that time frame as far as like the animatronics and the practical effects on Chucky. Like they do a really good job in how they go about it. Um, even going back to one of the earlier scenes in the movie as well, when he like pushes the I think it was the aunt or the best friend out the window, and just that whole little sequence, and you think it's Andy. Like there's a lot that is you know on kind of going on, but I feel like they handle it like really well in this movie, and I think it stood up like really well.
Yes, Child's Play is still a good like go to rewatch. Like that,
Hmm.
it's a good movie. It's a good movie, and the mystique of is it the doll? Is it Andy? That still
Hmm.
holds up. Even if you know it's not Andy, you're still locked into the mystique of it all.
Yeah.
Well, for me, in my second spot, which I just changed because I had another movie listed, but then I changed my mind. um, it is now Halloween 2 in my second spot. Halloween
Mm.
2 from 1981.
Wait, Lori.
I I love Halloween 2, and when when the ranking was done originally, when I originally reviewed these movies, I actually put Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 together because for me, they're one good continuous like story. It's the same night. It picks up right after the first one ends. But Halloween 2 is where we get the remnants of Michael that we know now. Like the kills are more brutal, they're more inventive, they're crazier, they're bigger. That's when we get what I feel like is the lore that should have never been changed, and that is that Michael and Laurie are brother and sister. This is my favorite movie out of the entire franchise. It's one that I go back to all the time. I will put this one on before I put on any other. Now, for my number one spot
Let's hear it.
is Friday the 13th, Part 6. That is Jason Lives. That's the one where Tommy and his friend dug up Jason's dead body because he was dead this
Oh.
time, and then the lightning rod brought him back to life. It still puts like, come on, Tommy. But that's my favorite one because that ends that random like trilogy in the middle of the franchise, the Tommy Jarvis
Hmm.
trilogy, and it's a character that I liked. I like that he kind of got like a good like ending. He had all this. We watched him in the first and the second movie, in his second movie, dealing with all the trauma of Jason and possibly killing his sister, and Jason did kill his mom, and then we get to the third one, and it ends with him defeating Jason and kind of getting himself back. So I love that one. I think that's for me. That's a fresh. That's where the series should have reset because you literally can end the continuity that you had set there with Tommy Jarvis, and it could have went a different place when they got to the 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 movies that preceded, but it didn't go that way. So that's what I have at my first spot. But Tuan, what do you have as number one?
That was interesting. I don't think I was expecting that.
You weren't expecting Jay. What were you expecting?
I don't know what I was expecting. I don't think I was expecting the Friday the 13th movie. Well, my number one is Scream, the first one.
Not to hang up on me.
What do you want?
To talk.
Well, dial someone else, okay?
Listen, asshole!
No, you listen, you little bitch. You hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand? Yeah,
Some kind of joke?
more of a game, really.
Oh,
Which
okay.
I feel like you should have expected that. I don't know.
I thought it was gonna be that or Scream Five.
Okay, okay. So I had to go with the first one. Like if this was like a longer list, I probably would have another one in there. But if it's just top five and we're kind of consolidating a bit, I didn't want to include like multiple franchises on one like list. Like especially in the top five sense. So if I had to just go with one of the Scream movies, I'm gonna go with the first one. It's timeless. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like Scream, like the original Scream movie is freaking timeless. Like you can watch it anytime and it still hits. Um, it flows so well. Like the movie, like it's one of those movies that like when you're watching it, you really don't like it. Like the pacing is just so well done within it. Like you, like one scene you're just watching it and you see the whole, like Casey and everything happening. Next thing you know, it's like near the end, and we're at the party at Stu's house, and it just flows so well with the set pieces and how things are put together in it. Ghostface is like the introduction to Ghostface is great. Um, the voice of Ghostface still perfect. I'm glad that's never changed throughout these movies. Um, like it's like still sounds good. All the performances in here are really good. Um, there's always like people giving new bits or like subtext to certain things through this movie, and I feel as though even not just in this movie, out of like all the others, it's one of those franchises that's been consistently good. Yes, we had a slight low point with Scream 3, which really wasn't more of it. It wasn't really director writer's fault. It was kind of just situations like outside that were influencing the movie that had to retool the whole plot. Um, but I believe like out of like most of the series, like slasher series that have gone on over time, and it's still ongoing. Like this is one of the most consistent ones, and it all started because of this one. And I think the way that went about it with it kind of taking a meta subtext route and going slightly into satire a little bit, like helps these movies, especially this one, and why it feels like so timeless in regards to what it did. And I think everybody, like, which they do, everybody deserves their flowers for this first movie. Wes Craven, um, Kevin Williamson, and all like the cast. So I think Scream like holds up like really well as a slasher, and it's definitely my number one. Um, Honestly, you could swap any of the Scream movies in for me, and it'll always be a number one. Like, honestly, because like even the third one, if you, like I can always watch a movie and realize it's like campiness. So even the third one still has like some love for me, even if it's at like the bottom of my list most of the time. But I still love it.
Well, there we have it. Our top five slasher movie list. This was fun. We're gonna be probably gonna be doing a top five again some point this year. This was just like a good episode. I was surprised at a few of the picks that you had there. I think I surprised you with one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly wasn't expecting you to mention a Child's Play movie or a Terrifier, but Child's Play was the biggest shock. So I'm good.
Okay.
That was good. But join us next week as we review Bring Her Back. But that's for next week. Until then, good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elian Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a Letter to Media production.
Should we do an intro?